You don't have to worry about your belt matching your shoes if you're not wearing a belt in the first place. Intro.
You should come rolling my
Yo, what up? My name is Vladimir Riché from ChaseandRider.com. There's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to menswear. Some of them are probably holding you back from looking your best. So in this video, we're going to talk about the 7 menswear myths. Number 1, dressing well is too expensive. Now, I'm not saying that dressing well is cheap, because obviously quality costs. But dressing well is not as expensive as some would make it out to be. I've seen guys spend like $5,000 on their suits and still look like trash, while some guys only spend about $500 and still look like $1 million bucks. When it comes to dressing well, the first thing you have to prioritize is fit. If the suit fits well, it doesn't have to cost that much money for you to look good. Now, there are some things that you can scamp over and some that you can't. For example, you should always invest in some nice shoes. But even with saying that, that doesn't mean you have to spend like $1,000 on your shoes. There are some really great brands out there with Goodyear welted shoes starting around $250 to $350. Now, I know to some of you, $250 to $350 for shoes still sound really expensive, and I understand that. But when it comes to quality menswear, you always want to pay more and buy less. So in other words, you don't have to get 10 pairs of shoes. All you really need is 2 pairs of shoes to start. One brown and one black. So spending about $500 to $600 on 2 pairs of shoes that can last you the rest of your life if you take care of them is really not a bad investment. And when it comes to your suits, you don't have to spend a small fortune. Just make sure that the suit fits. For example, the suit that I'm wearing right now is from a company called Spee & McKay out of Canada that make really great stuff for a good price. This suit only cost me $400. And when I took this suit to my tailor to get it altered, he was like, "How much did you pay for this suit? Like $1,000? When I told him I only paid $400 for this suit, he told me the owner must be crazy, because that's easily a $1,000 suit. So that's what I'm saying. Just gotta do your research and see what's out there. But dressing well is not as expensive as some make it out to be. And everything that I'm wearing in this video cost me less than $1,000. The shoes are from Carlos Santos and was around $300. The suit, like I said, is from Spee & McKay, cost me $400. The shirt was also from Spee & McKay, cost me about $50. The tie was about $75. The pocket square was about $75. So altogether, we're talking about less than $1,000. Speaking of Spee & McKay, I came bearing gifts. I included a link in the description that'll give you 20% off your first order. You don't want to miss it, man. Once again, the price is already low, but with 20% off, a suit like I'm wearing right now would only cost you about $320. That's downright stealing. That's like highway robbery. Menswear myth number 2, your socks must always match your trousers. Now, I do understand where that rule came from. I just don't believe in it. So one thing about my socks, for the most part, they're usually solid. Every now and then I might have like little dots on them, but nothing too crazy. But as long as your socks are dark, they're good. It doesn't really matter what color they are. For example, right now I'm wearing a brown suit with dark green socks. Now, I'm not saying go crazy and start wearing socks with like 10 different colors on them, a bunch of stripes. That way you bring in more attention to your footwear when the attention should be on your face. So if you're wearing a navy suit and rocking dark burgundy socks, you're good, man. There's nothing wrong with having a little bit of fun with your socks. Just don't go too crazy. Menswear myth number 3, your shoes must always match your belt. What are belts anyway? I don't even remember the last time I wore a belt with my suit. Like, I've actually heard somebody say, "Man, I really like these shoes, but I'm not gonna buy them because I don't have a belt to match." You don't have to worry about your belt matching your shoes if you're wearing suspenders. I have trouble enough making sure that my watch strap match my shoes. I'm definitely not gonna worry about no belt matching my shoes. That's too much, man. I'm just trying to have some fun with the menswear, man. That's too much. It's too much to think about, man. You know what I mean? Now, your watch strap, that's a different story. But belts, nah, you can do without belts. Just wear suspenders, man. Alright? Menswear myth number 4, you should always buy your suits bigger so that you can go into it. Always buy your suit for the way that you look now. Nobody has a crystal ball. You have no idea what you're gonna look like in the future. I remember when I bought my first suit, it was for one of my friends' funeral that passed away. And the guy told me, "You want a suit that's going to last you the rest of your life. So therefore you should buy it bigger because you're definitely gonna put on some weight because you're still young." That was one of the worst advice I ever got in my life. How am I gonna buy a suit for how I'm gonna look in the future? What if I lose weight? Then what? The chances of me losing weight is slim. No pun intended. You should always buy a suit for the way that you look now. you have no idea what you're going to look like in the future. Now, you don't know how many times back when I used to work in the menswear industry, I would meet with somebody and take their measurements, and they'd be like, yo, can you measure me a little tight? Because I'm in the gym, so I'm gonna lose some weight. You know, so I want when the suit comes back, it fits me right. And then I would come back with the suit 6 weeks later, and they actually gain weight. Menswear myth number 5. Now, this one is one of my favorites. If it's in GQ, then it must be true. Man, listen, man. Oh, man, where do I start with this one? Yo, when I was first getting into menswear, if something wasn't in GQ, I just didn't believe it. Because, you know, we look at GQ like it's the menswear Bible. When you're just starting out, everything that GQ is telling you, you just eat that right up. So GQ's been around for years. So if GQ is telling you this is what it is, then this is what it is. You know what I mean? Now, this is no knock on GQ. Well, GQ is a fashion brand. They wouldn't be around since 1957 if they was giving you advice on building a timeless wardrobe. Then what would the next magazine be about? They gotta stay relevant by covering trends. And one thing I teach all my clients is how to build a timeless wardrobe. I remember reading in GQ that the new trend is to have shorter jackets. Come on, man, your jacket should always cover your ass, man. So just because it's in GQ doesn't mean that it's true. And just because it's in GQ doesn't mean that it pertains to you, man. Do your own research, see what looks good, build a timeless wardrobe, and take it from there. Now, GQ is a great magazine. Don't get me wrong. I just don't take any menswear advice from them, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have some great articles, I just don't listen to them when it comes to menswear. That's no shot at GQ, you know, but GQ is a fashion brand. But what I teach is classic menswear, so it's like I'm like the anti-GQ, you know what I mean? Menswear myth number 6. You're not well dressed unless you can successfully match 3 or 4 patterns. This one is probably the one that I hate the most. Because the beauty of being well dressed is in its simplicity. Wearing a charcoal suit with a white shirt and a dark tie is one of the most elegant looks. To some guys that may be boring, but to me that's the way that it should be. You don't have to know how to match 3 or 4 different patterns to be considered well dressed. I'm not gonna go out of my way and try to wear all sorts of crazy different patterns and match them just to say that, hey, look at me, I'm matching 3 or 4 different patterns. Being well dressed has nothing to do with how many different patterns that you can match successfully, man. To me, dressing well is simple. You wear a suit that fits, or you wear a really nice tie, you wear a plain shirt or maybe like a striped shirt, some nice shoes, and you're good to go, man. Menswear myth number 7. I'll never look good in my suits because I don't have the physique for it. Newsflash, none of us are perfect. Even the guys that you see that look great in their suits, that's because A, the suit fits well, and B, they probably have a really good tailor that know exactly how to hide their imperfections and accentuate their good parts. One excuse that I hear a lot is I'm not gonna look good in my suits because I don't have the body for it. The suit's job is to make you look better than you look. So if you're a short guy, the suit's job is to make you look taller. If you're a bigger guy, the suit's job is to make you look a little bit slimmer. I can't think of any other piece of clothing that can actually alter the way that you look or give the perception that you look a certain way than how you actually look. So if you build a certain way and you're not happy with it, a suit is actually what you should want to wear, because nothing can hide your imperfections better than a well-fitting suit. Like, I know some guys that have a really drop shoulder, but your tailor can add some padding to just one side of the jacket to make it look like your shoulders are actually even. Now, what other piece of clothing do you think you can do that with other than a suit? There isn't any. Imagine getting a t-shirt and go to your tailor so you can put some padding in your t-shirt. You know what I mean? There's nothing like it, man. So don't ever think that you can't get a suit because you don't have a body for it. The suit's job is to make you look better than you actually do. So that was the 7 menswear myths. Hit the thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe, or everybody gonna think that you're a hater. And I'll catch you in the next video. Peace. But your tailor can add some padding to me as long as the socks. But when it comes to quality menswear, you always want to pay less